Good morning, students. Hope you all are fit and fine. This side Ajay. Today I am going to describe third module from the third chapter, equality. So guys, we start with it. 3 dimensions of equality. After considering what kind of social differences are unacceptable, we need to ask what are the different dimensions of equality that we may pursue or seek to achieve in society. While identifying different kinds of inequalities that exist in society, various thinkers and ideologies have highlighted 3 main dimensions of equality, namely political, social, and economic. It is only by addressing each of these 3 different dimensions of equality can we move towards a more just and equal society. First of all, guys, I will explain you political equality. In democratic societies, political equality would normally include granting equal citizenship to all the members of the state, as you will read in the chapter on citizenship. Equal citizenship brings with it certain basic rights such as the right to vote, freedom of expression, movement and association, and freedom of belief. Guys, citizenship chapter, for your knowledge, we will discuss in this book also. Then you get to know about this, basically the main thing. It is the basically our constitution has providing us all the fundamental rights, and a citizen means that those who are a native, those who are living in a native land like India, they consider as citizen of India with having the proper political identity like your Aadhaar cards, right to vote after 18 years age. Clear? So here we can see that freedom of expression, movement and association, and freedom of belief, all these things are mentioned in the fundamental rights. 6 fundamental rights we have. These are rights which are considered necessary to enable citizens to develop themselves and participate in the affairs of the state. You have already discussed a lot about this through the second chapter, liberty. But they are legal rights granted by the constitution and laws. We know that considerable inequality can exist even in countries which grant equal rights to all the citizens. The inequalities are often the result of differences in the resources and opportunities which are available to citizens in the social and economic spheres. For this reason, a demand is often made for equal opportunities or for a level playing field. But we should remember that although political and legal equality by itself may not be sufficient to build a just and egalitarian society, I have already cleared you that a society where equality prevails, no difference among caste, color, creed, rich, poor, all assess everything, it is certainly an important component of it. Now after this we will study about the social equality. Social equality based on society where we live. Political equality or equality before the law is an important first step in the pursuit of equality, but it often needs to be supplemented by equality of opportunities that we have already discussed in second module. While the former is necessary to remove any legal hurdles which might exclude people from a voice in the government and deny them access to available social goods. The pursuit of equality requires that people belonging to different groups and communities also have a fair and equal chance to compete for those goods and opportunities. For this, it is necessary to minimize the effects of social and economic inequalities and guarantee certain minimum conditions of life to all the members of the society. Adequate health care, the opportunity for good education, adequate nourishment, and a minimum wage, among other things. In the absence of such facilities, it is exceedingly difficult for all the members of the society to compete on equal terms. Where equality of opportunity does not exist, a huge pool of potential talent tends to be wasted in a society. In India, a special problem regarding equal opportunities comes not just from lack of facilities but from some of the customs which may prevail in different parts of country or among different groups. Women, for instance, may not enjoy equal rights of inheritance in some groups, or there may be social prohibitions regarding their taking part in certain kinds of activities, or they may even in discouraged from going for higher education. In such cases, the role of states has been to offer equal legal rights to all, to make policies to prevent discrimination or harassment of women in public places or employment. You can heard it through newspapers, media, and from televisions also, that what type of problems emerged in India and how people ill treated the women. So to stop all these things, regional states have to be taken some steps to provide incentives to open up education or certain professions to women and other such measures. But social groups and individuals also have a role to play in raising awareness and supporting these who want to exercise their rights. Here means inequalities in education. From this you can see that schedule caste 47, Muslim 61, all this through the data we are taking from the national sample survey. Just an example regarding what type of inequalities emerged in the part of education level. So guys, here very important thing is that we living in a society where we have to be give equal opportunities and rights to all the women also, similarly as men. There should be no discrimination and nothing like that work which women will not do exactly like men. So we have to be aware people about all these such things that women also consider same as men. Now third is economic equality, which is related with funds, money, and very important role it has. At the simplest level, we would say that economic inequality exists in a society if there are significant differences in wealth, property, or income between individuals or classes. One way of measuring the degree of economic inequality in a society would be a measure that relative difference between the richest and poorest groups. Another way could be to estimate the number of people who live below the poverty line market. Of course, absolute equality of wealth or income has probably never existed in a society. Most democracies today try to make equal opportunities available to people in the belief that this would at least give those who have talent and determination the chance to improve their condition. Now here let's debate what it's mentioned. Women should be allowed to join the combat units of army and go up to the highest positions. There should be healthy arguments, healthy ideas on this, that women should not less than men. So next page number 43, we continue with it. Opportunities inequalities may continue to exist between individuals, but there is the possibility of improving one's position in society with sufficient effort. Inequalities which are entrenched, that is which remain relatively untouched over generations, are more dangerous for a society. If in a society certain classes of people have enjoyed considerable wealth and the power which goes with it, over generation the society would become divided between those classes and others who have remained poor over generations. Over time, such class differences can give rise to resentment and violence. Of course, if people of low classes have no proper facilities, opportunities to earn their livelihood, violence happen, riots happen. Because of the power of the wealthy classes, it might prove difficult to reform means changes such a society to make it more open and egalitarian. Through this cartoon also dream deferred. Find out more about racial inequality in the US, which group or groups in our country suffer from similar inequality. Here you have to be different between you have to be go through detail about the second chapter freedom, and this chapter also, like in India and other countries, how inequalities prevail and how we can over it from it. Clear guys? Now next page number 44, feminism. Feminism plays very important role in this equality chapter. It means that a political doctrine of equal rights for men and women. In this whole module, it declares that women and men both play very active role in a society and in every field. If mother is needed in a family for household things and outside also, then men also have the same position to run a family. So there should be no difference between men and women. Every right should be given to men and women equally. According to feminists, inequality between men and women in society is the result of patriarchy. Underline, this term refers to a social, economic and cultural system that values men more than women and gives men more power over women. So we have to be understand this system, and we have to be encourage and aware people that women and men both are equal and both are essential to run a society and family. Feminists question this way of thinking by making a distinction between sex. Biologically, differences between men and women and gender, these are common, which determine the different roles that men and women play in society. The biological fact that only women can become pregnant and bear children does not require that only women should look after children after they are born. Men also, because economically and child also needs mother and father in both way. That is a natural thing which God has given to a woman. Feminists show us that much of the inequality between men and women is produced by society, not by nature. Is that clear, guys? I am from the very starting I clear you about this thing. Patriarchy produces a division of labor by which women are supposed to be responsible for private and domestic matters, while men are responsible for work in the public domain. Feminists question this distinction by pointing out that in fact most women are also active in the public domain also. Like you can see that every sphere women can also work smoothly and at home also. So it means that we have to be overcome from this problem. Women are given little or no say in decisions taken in the public domain. Feminists contended that this public-private distinction and all forms of gender inequalities should be eliminated, also should be rooted out. Clear, guys? Now next is, through Marxism and liberalism are two important political ideologies of our times. Underline, Marx was an important 19th century thinker. Karl Marx, you have listen that name also in your 9th and 10th standard economics class also, regarding the Karl Marx theory and basically on capitalism, private property based. He pointed out that such private ownership did not only make the class of owners wealthy, it also gave them political power. Such power enables them to influence state policies and laws, and this could prove a threat to democratic government. Marxists and socialists feel that economic inequality provides support to other forms of social inequality, such as differences of rank or privilege. Next is, an opposing point of view can be found that in liberal theories, liberals uphold the principle of competition, all the most efficient and fair way of distributing resources and rewards in society. They believe that while states may have to intervene, means interference, to try and ensure minimum standard of living and equal opportunities for all. Already we have discussed in that point regarding the society. For liberals, the principle of competition is the most important and just efficient way of selecting candidates for jobs or admissions. Clear? Education level. For instance, in our country, many students hope for admission to professional courses, and entry is highly competitive. From time to time, the government and the courts have stepped in to regulate educational institutions and the entrance tests to ensure that everybody gets a fair and equal chance to compete. Some may still not get admission, but it is considered to be a fair way of disturbing limited seats. Let's do it here. Make a list of all the social and economic inequalities that you notice among the students of your own school. You have to write as an activity and work on it. Next is socialism. Socialism is the ideology, guys, which means that based upon the welfare of the people, society, that everybody have equal rights, no discrimination whether poor and rich, haves or have not. So here we can see that in India, second paragraph, in India, the eminent socialist thinker Ram Manohar Lohia identified 5 kinds of inequalities that need to be fought against simultaneously: inequality between men and women, inequality based on skin color, caste-based inequality, colonial rule of some countries over other, and of course economic inequality. Mark it, these are very important, and one question arises is, define the term socialism and what 5 problems regarding socialism mentioned by Ram Manohar Lohia. Clear? Other inequalities did not matter or would end automatically if economic inequality could be ended. Lohia argued that each of these inequalities had independent roots and had to be fought separately and simultaneously. If economic inequality could be ended, Lohia argued that each of these inequalities had independent roots and had to be fought separately and simultaneously. He did not speak of revolution in the singular. For him, struggle against these 5 inequalities constituted 5 revolutions. Market, he added 2 more revolutions to this list: revolution for civil liberties against unjust encroachments on private life and revolution for non-violence. For renunciation of weapons in favor of satyagraha. He favored of satyagraha means if we want to overcome from such inequalities, we should not be violent, we should not be immersed in demonstrations or riots. These were the 7 revolutions or Sapta Kranti, underline, which for Lohia was the ideal of socialism. Mark it, it's very important module. And the next third question is define the term Sapta Kranti from the viewpoint of Ram Manohar Lohia, a socialist. Unlike socialists, liberals do not believe that political, economic and social inequalities are necessarily linked. They have their different viewpoint. So the problem for liberals is not inequality as such, but unjust and entrenched inequalities which prevent individuals from developing their capabilities. So well guys, third module you get to know about feminism, socialism, inequalities and how we can from it, and 3 dimensions of equality: economic, political and social. Very soon we will meet through the last module of this chapter, how can we promote equality. Take care, go through this module. Bless you. Meet you soon with next video.